Chapter 3, David under Aunt Betsy's care. So students, you have already read that Mr. Muddlestone, who is David's wicked father, doesn't want to bear the expenses of his studies, and he never wants him to study at the boarding school, and he sends him to work in the warehouse in a bottle factory, okay, wine bottling factory. So have a look here. David starts working at Muddlestone's and Greenback's warehouse. His work is to wash and examine bottles. What he has to do? He has to wash and examine the wine bottles. His working place is well established in a corner of the warehouse so that Mr. Quinnan could easily see him. And Mr. Quinnan, who took David to this wine bottling factory, used to examine him, used to observe him and see him working. On the first morning of his new life, Mick Walker, the oldest of the boys working there, shows him his daily business. So Mick Walker is the oldest of the boys who are working there, and he shows the task to David. He also tells him Mealy Potatoes, who is the principal's associate and also called because of his pale and mealy complexion. David is very upset and he has no hope of learning or becoming cultured there. And David has lost his hope and is no more anxious to be cultured. Mr. Quinnan introduces Mr. Micawber to David and tells him that he is known to Mr. Muddlestone and has been asked to receive him as a lodger. And Mr. Quinnan introduces David to Mr. Micawber and who provides him lodging, that means a place to live. Mr. Micawber comes at the appointed time and he meets David at the told time, and he finds his way back easily in the morning. In the house of Mr. Micawber, David gets an exclusive breakfast, and that was a loaf and a penny worth of milk. He was given to eat by Mr. Micawber. On an average day, David mainly survives on bread and butter, and usually David gets bread and butter to eat. However, once in a while he manages to get some meat or ale, and sometimes he used to manage meat or ale. Ale, that is a beer or drink, you can say, or English wine. Shopkeepers usually wonder at David when he goes to buy his own meals, and the shopkeepers are amazed. They are surprised to see this child purchasing meals. Importantly, David is respected to the warehouse since he never complains about the situation and he never makes complaint of his problems. He never even complains to Peggotty, and he even does not tell his problems to Peggotty, his homemate, which earns him the nickname the Little Giant, who has given him the nickname Little Giant. That means she calls him by Little Giant. The Micawbers often confide in David about the financial difficulties. Financial difficulties, that means problem regarding money. Upon Mr. Micawber's request, he helps them in selling some of their possessions. Possessions, that means their belongings. So Micawbers confide means reveal or disclose a secret, to open a secret, and they usually used to disclose their secret to David, and due to financial problems they have to sell their belongings. Soon, however, Mr. Micawber is thrown into jail. Unfortunately, he was imprisoned and his family also moves in with him, and his family had to move along with him. Because of this, David shifts his lodging to a little room outside of the situation, and so because of this reason David has to move or shift his lodging to another place. Mr. Micawber becomes a popular man in the prison as he inmates love to hear his speeches, for they are written in very grand style. And soon Mr. Micawber becomes a popular person. Popular or famous person. When he is released from jail, he decides to go abroad for greener pastures. And when he is set free from the prison, he goes for new opportunities. Greener pastures means new opportunity. Mr. Micawber does not want to stay home, so he entire family lives together, and the whole family lives all together. Before leaving, Mr. Micawber advises David not to be spendthrift, as he equates extravagant spending with misery and financial prudence with happiness. Okay, and Mr. Micawber teaches David to spend his money with prudence. That means not to waste his money. David decides not to stay around with the Micawber, so he plans to run away to find his aunt Betsy Trotwood and finally David decides to meet his aunt Betsy Trotwood and leave the Mikey bus. He writes a letter to Peggotty. He also writes a letter to Peggotty, his homemate, who's like a family member, inquiring about his great aunt. And he wanted to know about his aunt in this letter. And Peggotty tells him and sends half a guinea. And Peggotty sends some money. Guinea, that is the money she sends to David for the fare. David is very much obliged to her and he decided to reveal the secret afterwards, why he wants this money. And David reveals or discloses the reason that why he demanded that money. David also comes to know that Miss Betsy lives near Dover, and he comes to know that his aunt Miss Betsy Trotwood lives near Dover. But he decides to start his journey at the end of the week, and finally he decides to leave for the journey at the end of the week. To preserve this high status at work, David stays for 1 week to earn some extra money, and for his expenses, to bear the expenses of his journey, he decided to earn some money. The journey has a rocky start as his money and possessions are stolen, and finally on his way David lost his money and his belongings. Okay. And he is forced to sell his waistcoat and jacket for money, and even he has to sell his clothes for money. Some travelers also abuse him physically. Abuse means mistreated. They ill-treated him physically. On reaching Dover, David makes an inquiry about his aunt, and when he finally reaches Dover, he comes to know about his aunt among the boatmen first, but he gets different replies. His morning is spent in making inquiries, and he spends his morning in finding about his aunt. He is getting on the step of an empty shop at the street corner near the marketplace. And once he was sitting near an empty shop, and he finds on a street corner in the market. In the meantime, a fly driver stops and horse cab, and David raises his hand to ask him if he could take him to where Miss Betsy Trotwood lived. And this cab driver helped David to take him to Betsy Trotwood's home. David finds something positive on the face of the fly driver and is encouraged. And finally, this driver helps David to meet to Betsy Trotwood, since he has difficulty to ask for help. At last, he tells David that Trotwood lives in some houses facing the sea. And finally, he is told by this driver that she lives near the sea. Finally, he reaches his aunt's town, and finally she reaches her aunt's town or city. He stands at the garden gate of the aunt's house, and finally he comes to the gate of the garden of his aunt. He says that he is David Copperfield of Blunderstone. He introduces himself as David Copperfield of Blunderstone, Suffolk, where she came on the night when she was born. His aunt is surprised to see him and asks him why he has come on the night, and David tells the pathetic story. That means when his aunt is amazed, she is amazed and she is surprised to see him coming at late night, and she wants to know the reason. David tells his pathetic, that means his sad story. He is taken to her house by Janet, his aunt's maid. Janet is her aunt's maid, Betsy Trotwood's maid, and she is called Janet. His arrival takes Miss Betsy by surprise, but she takes him in beds and feeds him. And she also gives him bathes, and she insists him to bath, and she also gives him something to eat. In the morning, David finds his aunt musing so deeply over the breakfast table, and he finds his aunt talking. She quite sure that he has been the subject of a reflection, but he becomes curious to know about her intention towards him, and he is also anxious to know that what feeling she has for him or David. However, he fails to gather courage to ask her, as it may hurt her. Finally, he doesn't find any courage, or he doesn't find any reason to ask his aunt, because that might hurt her. After breakfast is finished, his aunt deliberately leans back in her chair and reflects on his future. And finally, after the breakfast, his aunt talks about his future. Mr. Murdstone's reply came, and Miss Betsy informs him that Mr. Murdstone will visit her. And finally, Mr. Murdstone comes to Miss Betsy's house to visit them or meet them. And the next day he arrives with his evil sister. Evil means wicked. And his wicked sister is also along with him. After they enter into the house, Miss Betsy gives a keen look on them and asks, "You are Mr. Murdstone, who has married the widow of my late nephew?" And she inquired and asked Mr. Murdstone that he was the same fellow who married his sister, Clara. Okay? And she further said, David Copperfield. David Copperfield of Blunderstone. Blunderstone is the town from where David belonged. "I am," said Mr. Murdstone. Mr. Murdstone accepted this. During their conversation means talk. And during that talk, the Murdstone called David the worst boy. And he calls David a very wicked boy. And also disrespect his mother. And he also criticizes his or condemns his mother, Clara. All this is too much for Miss Betsy, and she takes great offense to this. And offense means being insulted. She feels insulted on his saying, on his criticism, and she believes that David's mother, and she finally tells that David's mother, Clara, was a sweet, very and a loving girl, and she was a nice girl. Then she asks David's wish. Wish means desire. Then she asks his wish or desire, whether he wants to go back with Murdstone or not, and whether David likes to go along with Murdstone or not. He absolutely does not. Therefore, she agrees with Mr. Dick's opinion to keep David with him. And David finally refuses to go along with his wicked stepfather. And Mrs. Betsy Trotwood decides to keep this child along with him, along with her. She asks the Murdstones to go away. Miss Murdstone puts her arm to a wicket and walks haughtily out of the house. And with anger, he leaves the house. And Betsy adopts David for good. And she adopts this orphan child. She even renames David. And she calls this David, and she gives him a new name, Trot. And Trot is a short for Trotwood. And he starts a new lease of life. Okay, thus David begins his new life with a new name, and everything was new. And this child, David, this orphan child, started his new life.